Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TIS. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. This is the second part of Kandi and the Gang, Season 1, Episode 3. I left off where I said about the firing of, the suspension of Brian. Now I'm going to pick up where the scene switched to Chandrika saying that she teach water aerobics on the side along with working with at Kandi and the Gang, because I knew on the first episode she said something about she do sell sunglasses on the side too. But anyway, they were at Kandi's house and they were doing the water aerobics. Mama Joyce, Aunt Bertha, along with Kandi and Dominique and Chandrika and Aunt Nora, they were all in the water doing the water aerobics thing. I remember when I was going to therapy for my back, which is a side note. I had to go through the water therapy, and I was kind of like Aunt Bertha. I was kind of scared to go in the water at first, but then the assistant kind of helped me in and kind of get me. But that water is kind of cold, so I agree with Aunt Bertha. But anyway, they were doing good, and Aunt Bertha was in there for a little minute, and then she said she wanted to get out, and then they showed where Dominique was helping her get up. So she could stand. She said she don't need no water therapy. She know how to take a bath. She know how to put her foot in the water, and they were all enjoying themselves in the water. And then they all got out of the pool, and got ready to go eat lunch. And while they were sitting down eating lunch, Kandi asked Chandrika what was going on at the restaurant. Was everything going good at the restaurant? Chandrika said no. She said Brian told me that Philip suspended her. She said what? What was going on? She said Brian said Philip suspended him because Brandon told him he was sitting down on the job. And she said sitting down. He wasn't supposed to be sitting down. And then that's when Mama Joyce chimed in and said, and so when they asked the old lady gang in the confessional, Mama Joyce said, "Ooh, I really like Philip." And then Aunt Nora had that funny look. Well, and Aunt Brother said, "I can't stand him." And I had to laugh when I saw that on the TV yesterday. I mean, on my DVR yesterday, I had to rewind that part. She said, "I can't stand him," and so what happened? Kandi said, "What happened?" And she said, "They said he was sitting down. He wasn't supposed to be sitting down." And Brandon told him he wasn't supposed to be sitting down. But when Chandrika got in her confessional, she said, "Yeah, Brandon was sitting down too. Brandon be sitting down too, and nobody don't say nothing." And so what happened? So Kandi say, how things going on with you and Philip, Chandrika, and Chandrika said, "Well, things are getting a little bit better between me and Philip. Now that he know that I'm a good worker and I come in and I do my job." And then Mama Joyce chimed in and said, "Well, if an employee is going to be disrespectful and going to be rude, well, then they need to go. And Chandrika said, "Well, I didn't do nothing. She said, "Whatever you did, I bet you ain't do it no more after you went home." And then Chandrika got quiet, and Mama Joyce said, repeated again. She said, "If y'all gonna be disrespectful, well, then y'all need to go home." And so Kandi said, "Well, what it is, we're gonna have a meeting. And we're gonna discuss. What's going on. Me and Todd and Don Juan and stuff." So when it got to confessional, Todd said, "Well, Brian wasn't supposed to be sitting down, and Brian ain't supposed to be talking to management like that. So Brian's supposed to go home." And Kandi gave Todd that side-eyed look. And Todd is one of those people, and that's why Kandi said that's why you and Philip get along so good, cause what you call it is the same way. Todd, he kind of no nonsense. When he don't feel like dealing with stuff, but he needed to be no nonsense about that generator too. But anyway, But anyway, after that scene, it switched to Torrin going to the ice cream shop, and then not Brandon, then Brian came into the shop, and Torrin told him that he just wanted to have a get together with him to see what was going on. And he said, "Well, how do you like the new management, Brandon?" And then Brandon, well, no, Brandon asked Torrin first, and Torrin said, "Well, he kind of tight." He kind of tight, he kind of uptight and stuff like that. And then he said, "I really don't care too much for Philip." And then he said, "What about you, Brandon? What you think?" He said, "Philip suspended me." Torrance said, "What? He suspended me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why'd you suspend me?" He suspended me because I was sitting down at the bar. He said, and Brandon told on me. And Brandon be sitting down at the bar too. He said, "Yeah, Brandon is something else." He said, "I just wanted to come and check on you because what you have been through in the past and stuff." And then in his confessional, Brian said that he kind of pushed Torrin away because he was heavy into drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And so he didn't want to bring Torrin down. And so when Torrin found out that he was drinking, Torrin kind of distanced himself. And he said, "Well, I'm doing a little bit better than what I did 18 months ago." And then Torrin asked Brian, "If you don't mind me asking what happened." And so Brian told him, by him working at Old Lady Gang, 12 to 15 hours, and then people wanted stuff from him that was getting to him, and then he had kind of broke up with one of his friends, and that was getting to him. And he said the icing on the cake is when his sister committed the S word, and he said that kind of took him out and stuff like that. And he got to crying, and he said, "Well, I was drinking vodka 3 times a day, and I started throwing up vodka. I started throwing up vodka and throwing up blood and stuff like that." He said, "So I had to kind of go and get myself together. I had to go and kind of get myself together and stuff like that." And then he started crying, and then Torrin gave him a hug, and then the show went off. Now I did catch Speak on It, and he said more on Speak on It, and on Speak on It he said that he said that took him out, and he said after one of his friends passed away, that kind of he said he didn't do the drugs anymore, but he kind of went back to drinking for a little bit for a little bit, and he said he had to pray, but he was saying the pain that you feel from not taking the drugs is even worse. He said he got so bad one of his friends had to call to him to the emergency room, and he said it seemed like nobody wanted to deal with him except for Don Juan. So he said he really have respect and admiration for Don Juan. And so he said due to the quarantine, that's what made it worse. Brian, you got a whole book in your head right now. So as soon as you get yourself together, baby, you could write a book and make you some money. And like Kandi said, she said, "I be telling people, just because your dreams might not come the way you want it, just come up." Because she said Brandon had always talking about he wanted a talk show. But anyway, this is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a T.I. is. I am out.